What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. When I came back from LA, I was like, man, I need to get a move on. So in the previous video you guys saw, we got the wagon running with the stock header just so that we know we can drive it to the driveway once the driveway clears up. Now in the driveway we have the EF sedan, we have the KRX, we have the red van, and the H2B CRX. The EF sedan itself, you guys saw in the previous video, we installed a brand new K-Tune engine harness, and we're still waiting for 2 more adapters to show up tomorrow to get this car turned over to make sure everything is good with the harness. Now we still need to change out the turbo and manifold setup for the Precision 6266 setup, so that way we can hit our goal as far as horsepower goes on our next dyno day. The KRX in the back turns on, runs its drive. I can take it wherever I need it to go. The red Odyssey is sitting on the driveway as well because I don't want any cars parked on the grass, and we still have the H2B CRX sitting right there. Now let's talk about the H2B CRX a little bit. I want this car gone more than you guys know. It's been sitting there for 3 years. I've been on and off working on it in between all the other projects. And when I came back from LA, I was like, this is one of the cars I just need to get going on it. I still don't have a lot of little things that I need for the car, but I want to at least make progress towards completing the car. So today we're going to be working on the H2B CRX a little bit. If you guys remember, a little while ago I mentioned that I wanted to paint the interior, or at least the back half of the interior, because it's so faded that I'm not comfortable getting rid of the car with the fade. So I did buy some paint. I might not have enough paint because I already painted the green CRX I sold recently. I painted the interior with 1 can and that wasn't enough, so I had to go back and buy a second one. But the paint shop only had 1 can, so I only have 1 can to use to paint as much as I can in today's video, and then you guys get the process. I'm gonna have to go buy more paint if I need to be to finish off the rest of the interior. And what I'm also going to do, because I need these parts and I've just been slacking on looking and finding them, whatever I'm missing in my H2B CRX, I'm gonna pull it out of my KRX. So with that being said, today's really hot. I want to utilize the heat to dry the paint up. Let's go ahead and take the interior out of the H2B car. By the way, I do have new shocks for the hatch. I just haven't put them on yet. They're actually in the yellow tote over there. You guys probably can't see this, but even the flock is faded. You see it? I feel bad. I feel bad. So this is an HF model CRX, and typically the white model came with blue interior. I believe there's a red one as well too that comes with black interior. Don't quote me on it, but the car is originally white. I resprayed it the same color, white, polar white, and this car didn't even come with interior when I got it. It sat for 15 years before it came into my possession. This is one of those cars built in the early years of racing, and you know, everybody was stripping out their interior. So when I got it, I didn't have anything other than just a miscellaneous like top panel here, headliner, and the front section was complete. But shout out to Lazy Man Garage because he donated this back half from a part CRX he got rid of, and it wasn't in the greatest condition, but I'd rather have an interior than to have no interior all in general. So this interior was faded. Take you guys out to the sun here. Blue, faded, and I did do the heat gun treatment and it did look good at one point, and then over time it just kind of faded back. Now this bothered me because the car doesn't have tint, so you can actually see this from the outside of the car. So I want to spray the quarter panel panels, this right here, left and right side, and I figured because we're going to be painting this, we're going to be painting everything else along with it. So this is the back paneling for the center section of the rear, and we do have the tail light covers right here. 1, 2, we have this one right here, but we're missing we're missing both. So you can see this is a black gray color from like an SI model or DX, and we're missing the opposite side. And I believe I only have one of this. This one was actually, I don't know, we're missing one or the other, so I need to grab one of this as well. You can also see that this is a different color, not the blue. So I'm gonna rob these two right here from the KRX, and then we'll replace that whenever. Another thing I want to paint as well too, along with all of this, is I want to paint the door handle panel, little cover right here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to paint this as well too. I would love to take the handle itself off to give that a nice coat as well too, but that requires me taking off the entire door panel and all that. I might do it, I'm not sure, I might do it. But I'm also going to rob the driver's side from the KRX, because that one doesn't have one either, and that's one of those has been bothering me for a while because I never had it. I hate to do it, but I need it. This one looks like it's been repainted before. It's all crusty in here. The blue panelings are harder to find than the black ones, so I'm just going to take these out of the KRX to paint it with the interior to go back into that car, and then hopefully we'll find some black ones to replace the KRX. I probably have a higher chance to find the black ones in the junkyard opposed to the blue ones. I'm hoping the homie Eugene has these available in black so I can buy them to replace them in the KRX, but let's get to sanding. Plastic adhesion promoter. Okay, so I have everything washed up and dried up. I gotta wipe all of this down before I spray. I'm not worried about it right now. Right now my goal is to spray all the smaller items. Everything has been sweet with Semsolve, and all sitting where we're gonna be spraying this. I'm gonna do the adhesion promoter first before we do the color coat, and this will help the paint stick much better on plastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down a coat here real quick. Lucy, can you like skedaddle somewhere real quick, please? This thing does go on clear and it dries really fast, so it's kind of hard to see where you've already sprayed, but you know, just take note. Light coats, not super heavy at all. Oh, I forgot to tape that off. That is rubber right there. Get the door handle. This one looked like it melted or something. The material looks a little weird compared to this one. Alrighty, I might do one more on this bigger piece and then we'll lay down the color coat. So the color we're using here is 15043 Shadow Blue by Sem color coat. Now if you look, it may look darker, but it's a pretty close color in person, and it is kind of hard to compare because all of the blue is faded, so it's not going to be close, you know, depending on how aged your panels are. But for the most part, this is going to match it really well, especially to the front half of the car, because the front half doesn't have faded panels. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay down as much of the small panel as possible. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough to even do both the quarters, but I'm hoping that I'm able to lay all of this down and at least one of the quarter. So let's go ahead and lay this part first. I do have this taped off as well. Actually, you know what? Let's do the small ones first. Let's do a light coat. Okay. I'm running all the edges first. Make sure we get some coverage. Look, you can't even see it's freaking blended in, right? New versus old, pretty close. All right, that's the first coat. Honestly, can't even tell the difference. I feel like on the black may take a coat more than the blue, because when you have a darker under color, it makes the top color a little bit darker. So at least that's what I think. You let me know in the comments below. I mean, that's already changing the blue, and this is black originally. All right, everything's on their first coat. Pretty uniform if you ask me. Perfect shade as well too. It's not super flat, it's not super glossy. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll do a second. I'll show you guys comparison before I lay down the coat of paint on this one. But look, the fade, gonzo, the color, pretty damn close. Hope you guys can tell through the video, but freaking awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and just knock this out, because we have maybe 15 minutes before the sun disappears completely. I'm not sure what kind of trigger discipline I have this time around, but all of this right here, including the quarter panel for the driver and the passenger, all has 2 full coats, and I still have quarter of a can. When I did the green CRX with the black spray paint, I literally went through 2 cans, and this is only 1. These pockets right here are black entirely. This was actually from a different quarter panel that I used on the blue one. And what's funny enough is the green CRX, when I sold it, it had black quarter panels with blue pockets, and then this one is blue panels with black pockets. I never got around to switching them out before I sold the car, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this, because one, it's black with black like carpeting, and if I paint this blue, it's gonna look weird with the black carpeting on it. Or I can leave it entirely black. If I leave it entirely black, it looks weird to the storage compartment, because this thing is blue, right? So I'm thinking about like either just dyeing it blue and then painting this blue just so it's all blue together, or I don't know. Damn, it looks good. It looks good. R for right. Right hand. Dude, looking complete. So I'm not going to be installing the compartment yet, the storage compartment right here, because we still have to install the pockets, which we'll figure out tomorrow. But man, looking more complete. Sorry about my Harbor Freight light flickering, but man, I've been holding off on this for way too long. Looking good. I just got to figure out a back cover, because I don't have that, which goes on top of this, and then it meets the cargo cover on the top. I'm missing that entire piece and all of the hardware. So I just finished watching Nuke's Top 5. I went to Wendy's to get a baked potato because I don't know where locally I can get some fire baked potato. There is a food truck, but I don't know where they're at, because I had it last time at Shed Day and their potato was like bigger than my hand and it was crazy loaded. I'm actually going to be there this weekend, and hopefully the same potato truck is going to be there, because I've been craving it for the last like 3 weeks. The Wendy's one was okay. We just got to like tell them to add more toppings, but it's like this big. So anyways, I also went to the paint store today to get some more paint, but when I went there, they didn't have anything like specifically for fabric for the little compartment to the rear quarter panel. And I was asking them, and they were like, the color code stuff works. So the can that I used yesterday to paint, I don't know why I didn't read this, but so the can right here literally says, restore or change the color of most vinyl surfaces, flexible and rigid plastics, and carpet. Like, you can use this for carpet. I have quarter of a can left, and that means I can just spray the compartment, the carpet, and the plastic. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and just not really scrub this because it's plastic, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my brush on a drill to kind of clean all the dirt and debris off of this. And then he said to just spray on here and use a brush to kind of move the paint around to break it free from the carpeting, because if you leave it bunched up together, when it dries up, it becomes hard. Have you guys ever sprayed fabric and it becomes hard? That's what it is. He said to use a brush, spread it out, and then let it dry, as many coat as you need, and then this should change color. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrub these two so we can get them put back into the car. All right, not too shabby. So when I scrubbed this down, I did keep the cloth damped, and then I sprayed it. I did like 3 coats on both. After the second coat, I did use my, I don't know where it went, my nylon brush, and I was brushing the cloth like the fellas at the shop said to do. And then I laid a third one, did the same thing, and it doesn't feel hard at all. I mean, you can kind of feel it there, like it's stiffer, but I mean, it is what it is. It's spray can. When it hardens, that's what it does, especially on cloth. So looking really good, man. You can't tell her here in the dark. It's like more navy, but when you take it over to the light, the sunlight here, I mean, you're really not going to see it in the light most of its time sitting in the car anyways. But dude, it looks good. It looks good. Now, I did not spray the inside, so this is actually still black on the inside. But like I said, with low lighting, you cannot tell when it's in the car, right? So move over here, you really can't tell. So I'm gonna go ahead and find all the screws because I don't know what happened to them, and we're gonna get this reinstalled along with the storage compartment that goes in between. I'm really curious to see the color match on the carpet to the OEM storage compartment. I'm hoping that it's pretty close. I don't see it on that side over there, but this side compartment has a tab down low for another screw to secure it down. I don't know why that side doesn't have it, unless it's broken off, but I don't see the bottom section either. So I'm gonna leave that be. Dude, it's a pretty close match. Probably gonna be hard for you guys to see it, but not shabby. I mean, looks a little more darker here because it's a black carpet beforehand, but not shabby. You can't even tell. That's good. Now I'm gonna have to figure out the backing plate here a different day because I don't know where any of the hardware or hinges are at, and I did run some errand today and I forgot to buy material, wood, to make that back plate. So we'll do it a different day unless I find an OEM unit. Guys, I've been sitting here for about 20-30 minutes now talking to my nephew about the Wendy's loaded baked potatoes, and he was like, man, kind of craving it now. But he really wants a loaded baked potato and not something as mid as the Wendy's loaded baked potato. So we were just kind of going through the laptop for some ingredients and stuff, and tomorrow he wants to make barbecue with like cornbread and stuff, and he wanted to do baked potato instead of mash. So he just took off with my mom right now to go pick up ingredients for tomorrow's cook-off, and you know, hopefully we'll get some more quality baked potato tomorrow. But as far as today goes, I've been sitting here kind of overlooking the car because we are done for today, and I'm looking over the car just trying to figure out what's really left with it before I put it away for when the time comes. Putting away meaning I want to take this car to the storage after it is done on the driveway. Like when I pull it out of the storage, it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of overlooking the entire car, trying to figure out what is left to do with it. I think the way the car entirely as it sit is how it's going to go. So like, I'm being straight honest with you guys. There are a lot of paint scratches on the car from just sitting here, paint chips from like, you know, jack handles hitting the car and things like that. You know, this is a garage built car by me, and I did the entire work to the best of my ability. So it's not like a high quality show car by any means. So the way the car currently sits is how it's going to go, aside from maybe detailing it one more time because, you know, I want it to be nice and shiny for when it arrives to whoever's doorstep. So the car, aside from the back plate to the rear compartment, the storage compartment, it's almost entirely ready to rock and roll. I mean, I might want to put like maybe a Broadway mirror in it because the factory one is kind of factory. But I actually also debated on taking the Delso seats out of it. Now, let me tell you guys about the Delso seats. I got this from the junkyard a couple of years ago, and when I got this car, it came with a stock HFC, right? Little inky dinky, tiny seat that I actually took out and threw it into La Panda, and I sold that car because that car was also an HF. La Panda seats were HFs, but they were so faded and torn up that I actually took these seats out, threw it in there, and I sold that car. And I had no seats for this car, so I ended up taking the Delso just to throw it in there, just to get it rock and rolling. But I want my Delso seats, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I actually been debating on this for the longest time because these seats were never meant to be in this car. So if you guys remember, the green CRX that I sold, the LSV Tech, had a bull boost seat in it. Fortunate for me, the homie let me keep it, and I threw the stock seat back in there. He took the car. I have the seat in the storage unit. So I'm actually debating on putting the bull boost seat in this car, getting a second seat so we can have a pair in it, because we already have a bunch of bull boost parts in the car: shift knob, steering wheel, creak release, odds and ends. And you know what, in order for me to keep my seat, I actually don't mind putting a bull boost in the H2B CRX. So I'm actually talking to Bull Boost right now to see if they have one in the stock, and if they do, I'll purchase the second seat so we can get both of it installed in this car. But aside from the back compartment and the front seats, it's ready to go. It's ready to go. Honestly, it's registered, it's tuned, it's insured. All-wheel drive is working 100% because I did launch it here in front of the house. It's ready to rock and roll. And what I want to do is I wanted to get this thing buttoned up to stuff it into the storage unit so I can bring the JDM EF2 home. So that's gonna follow up here real soon, guys. But before the EF2 even comes home, the wagon has to get to the driveway first so I can knock that car out of the way, and then the EF2 comes and that build will commence. But as far as this video goes, all I wanted to do really that was bothering the back of my mind was the quarter panels, and we got them all nice and scuffed and painted with a color coat spray can. Looks freaking awesome now finally. And that's all I wanted to do in this video. I mean, there's going to be more progress on the car as we go, but today we got what we needed done. So we're gonna wrap up the video right here, guys. I hope you enjoy the progress update on the H2B CRX and a little understanding of what's all gonna be happening with this car. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for regular programming, because we need to put the turbo kit in the sedan, we need to tune it, we need to build the turbo kit for the wagon. But there's a lot gonna be following here real soon. So if you guys want to stick around and see all that shenanigan, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.